All right, if you are back with me, this is video number 3, actually video number 2 of topics because the first one was an intro. So in this video, we're going to be talking about loans and lending, specifically right now in the pandemic. Y'all, this is a crazy time. Just 3 weeks ago, we had the lowest mortgage rates that we had seen in a long time. We're talking like 3.25% on some mortgages. I mean, it was insane. I had heard about some 15-year fixed refinances, like 2.95. Yeah, that hadn't happened in a long time. So that was like on a Monday or Tuesday about 3 weeks ago, where we had the lowest mortgage rates that I have ever seen. The next day, it went nuts. Everything started going crazy. It was jumping up and down. The mortgage rates are tied to something to do with the Fed rates, but they're not. It has to do with the way secondary market resales. I don't know all of that because I'm not a lender. I'm not a loan officer. I don't keep up with that. That's not my job. I know real estate. I ask my loan officers not to talk real estate, and I'm not going to talk about what they know the best because I don't know that. But I am going to talk to you a little bit about loans and lending and what is going on right now in the market. So like I said, the market is extremely volatile right now. Rates are up and down due to the unstableness. And it's really because nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows how the economy is going to take this. I know on the 31st, which was the day before yesterday, from the 30th to the 31st, unemployment claims went up, or maybe it was from the 26th, from March 26th to March 31st, unemployment claims went up from 3 million people in the United States to 6 million, over 6 million people. And of course, that number has greatly risen since then. They're expecting it to be around 40 million people on unemployment over the next month, which, let me give you an example. Throughout the timeline over the past 10 years, unemployment has teetered around 400,000 to 700,000. 400,000 to 700,000 people over the last 10 years on unemployment. Right now, as of March 31st, so this was still 2 days ago, so this number's greatly risen since then. Unemployment is at over 6 million people. Y'all, that's insane. Everything going on right now with this pandemic is nothing like we've ever seen before in our lifetimes. Our great-grandparents could have probably told us a little bit about stuff like this. I'm not saying we're in a depression. Obviously, we're not to that level yet. But people who lived in the Depression could probably come the closest to telling us what it's like to have that many people unemployed. So the market it's unstable right now. A lot of realtors, sorry, there's something on my screen, y'all, and I can't tell if it's on my camera. No, it's just on my screen. A lot of realtors are going to tell you that it's business as usual. It's not business as usual. I'm not going to lie to you. Things are different. Things are really different. The amount of showings has dropped off drastically in the last 2 weeks. Are we still selling homes? Yes. Are we still listing homes? Yes. Are we still having closings? Yes. So all of those things are still happening. Are they happening at the rate that they were a month ago? No. And if a realtor tells you any different, I don't know. They're not lying, because in their world it may be the same, but for the majority of the real estate market, it has changed. There are listings, and we've been getting quite a few listings. There are sales. There are contracts. Just wrote up an offer yesterday. But things are different. So the loans, it's extremely, okay, because of the volatility in the market. This is another reason, like I talked about in video 2, it's extremely important to get started now. Get started right now. Choose your real estate team. Choose your realtor. Let your realtor guide you to the right loan officer. Guide you to the right loan officer who has your best interest in mind. Now, you won't hear many say this to you. Most realtors aren't going to tell you this because selling, we don't make a dime until we get to the closing table. We have to close on a loan to get paid. What you see on our checks is not what we get paid. Look up how real estate works. We get paid a portion of what is on that check that goes back to our office with us. The broker gets the other part. So we don't make as much as people think that we make, and we do not get paid until closing. Therefore, all the time that I spend on the computer, all the time that I spend driving in my car, all the time that I spend showing houses, none of that. I don't get paid for any of that. I do all my own marketing and advertising. We have to pay for signs. We have to pay for business cards. We have to pay for ads. We have to pay for all of that stuff. Now, I work with a great brokerage company who provides most of our signs for us, but anything above those minimum signs, we pay for. So we're not like other places that things get paid for us. We don't get paid mileage. We don't get paid any of that stuff. Everything is on our own dime. So I say all of that to tell you, now may not be the best time for you to buy a house. I know, right? You're hearing that from a realtor who this is my livelihood. If I don't sell a house, I don't get paid. But I'm telling you as the consumer and as my client that right now might not be the best time for you to buy a house. The rates are everywhere. If I can get you qualified right now, your rate may be over 5%. And it hasn't been that for a while, y'all. Rates are higher. I think they're going to go back down over the next month or so, but I'm not 100% on that. Now, 5% sounds low to a lot of people, and it is low because back in 79 and 80 and 81, when rates jumped up to over 18%, 5% sounds fabulous. But 3 weeks ago, when you could get a 3.2 or a 3.1%, 5% is a lot over the over 30 years, and that's what most of you are going to finance your house out as 30 years. So now, I don't want you, the reason I say right now might not be the best time for you to buy a house, I don't want you to think that I'm saying don't buy a house right now. That's not what I'm saying at all. For the majority of you, unsure about your job, unsure about the future of the economy, you don't have savings built up, now is not the best time for you to buy a house. I don't want my clients buying a house right now that they aren't absolutely in love with and that they cannot afford if they lose their job for 3 months. I don't want to go home at night and sleep and lay my head down on my pillow with the thought that I sold somebody a house that they're going to be foreclosed on in 6 months because they couldn't afford the payments, because they lost their job because of this pandemic. I don't want to be that person. So yes, it's going to take some money out of my pocket for a little while, but hey, I would much rather you not purchase a house and save some money, and then we'll come back to it a little bit later. Now, there are small windows, is what I'm hearing from the loan officers. There have been very, very small windows, and only a few of them in the past 3 weeks, where they have been able to go in and lock rates at less than 4% or less than 5%. Very small windows. We're talking 30 minutes at a time that the rates drop. So there is a chance that you could get one of those rates. Chance is not likely, but there is a chance. So that's another reason that you should contact me to start the process today. Because if we do find a house for you, we could get you started in the process, and you could potentially get in one of those little slots where the rates drop. Again, a good real estate team can help you get situated in a great position for whenever you're ready to jump on the house of your dreams. You do not want to wait to take the first steps to home ownership until this pandemic is over. Let me tell you why. Because if you wait to contact me and you don't have all those steps in process, then when this pandemic is over and then you start the process, you're going to be behind. There are going to be people there waiting who got in, started the process, and are in a position to immediately make an offer on a house. So don't wait. I mean, honestly, now is the perfect time to get started because we can line you up exactly to where you need to be to get started buying a house. So loans, hold on, let me make sure it's not in a different one. Okay, it's not. So different types of loans. For first-time home buyers, there are FHA, rural housing, for all buyers, VA loans, conventional, balloon, ARM, like there's all different kinds of loans. The main ones that we see around here are FHA, rural housing, and conventional. So with the FHA, you have to have 3.5% down on the price of the house, and it's a federally backed government mortgage. Most people around here, if your income is over a certain level, that is the loan that you're going to end up with. A lot of first-time home buyers qualify for USDA or rural housing, which is a 100% loan, which means no money down. Now, when I say no money down, that doesn't mean that you don't have to have money to buy a house. We'll go through that in the process video, but you have to have money for appraisal, inspections, closing costs, all of those type things. So you definitely need to be saving money right now for the future. Conventional, there are some 5 and 10% down conventional loans. I foresee the 5% conventional loans being far and few between, or few and far between, whatever, after this pandemic, because they're a rarity anyways. And I see conventional loans moving more towards the safe zone where they're getting 10 to 20% down. That is me. I'm not a lender. That's just what I think. Lenders may tell me something completely different, or loan officers. But anyway, so that is all I'm going to give you guys on the lending process. Again, if you have any doubt where you stand, contact me and I will set you up with a loan officer that can tell you where you stand and what you need to do to be ready whenever it's your time to buy a house. Next video is how has home buying changed during this pandemic? See you there.